In my final countdown, I lay on the cold operating table. Memories of us flashed through my mind as a single tear rolled down my cheek. So this is really the end, huh? I heard my wife's little brother was dying. His one dying wish was to have a wedding with my wife Summer, and the moment she said yes, I told the system to pull me out of this world. Summer had pushed for a divorce twice, and both times I never made it to the courthouse until I ended up on that operating table as a terminal patient. And the surgeon, looked at me with pure horror and despair. How could it be you? What broke her even more was that according to the system, I was set to die by her hands. Granting him eternal life, Summer was the golden-handed surgeon everyone in the hospital admired. She was always busy, so busy she could only text me about the divorce. Take a break for the wedding. Chase is emotionally unstable. She can't wait. I stared at a table full of cold, untouched food. The edges of the cream cake were melting, just like our relationship. 10 years from school uniforms to wedding vows, and it all came crashing down. I called her several times. She finally picked up on the fourth ring, her voice flat and distant. What is it? I was busy. My first instinct was to apologize, thinking she had been in surgery. Doctors are always responsible for their patients, but then I heard a man's low laugh in the background. Clothes are already off, come on over. My blood rushed straight to my head, and in a rage. We are not even divorced yet, she replied with total calm. You got it wrong. I am just giving Chase's dog a bath. I shut my eyes and dug my nails into my palm. In a rage, I thought, if we get divorced, I will disappear. That is the system's original setting, and nobody can change it. She went quiet, and I heard movement on her end. She probably stepped away to talk. She lowered her voice. Fang, I have explained this so many times, it is just a ceremony. After it's done, we will remarry. Why do you always use Sean to pressure me? Whenever she used my full name, it meant she was getting angry. Seeing I had not responded, her breathing grew heavier in frustration. Because he told me himself he hated it most. I stayed silent. Fang, be rational? I let out a cold laugh. You are at Chase's place in the middle of the night, telling me to be rational. Does that not sound ridiculous to you? After all, legally speaking, she is still my wife right now. There was a long sigh on her end. Then each word came out cold and sharp, piercing straight through me. Fang, get the divorce done. Friday morning, I scooped a spoonful of frosting into my mouth. It tasted bitter on my tongue and honestly kind of funny. She remembered to help Chase give his dog a bath, but forgot today was my birthday. Maybe her heart had already left and her memory went right along with it. Hey system, do you know any birthday songs? No, I only know Tibetan songs. I smiled a little. Forget it, save it for when I actually die. Get me out of this world. Once I leave, I can go back to where I came from. Back in my original world, even though I did not have a healthy body. I had family and friends who loved me, and I kind of missed the rice noodle rolls from the place downstairs and the beef soup from the old street market. And of course Dad's warm clay pot porridge. In this world, I was the only one looking out for Summer, because she was a surgeon, and her hands were everything to her and her patients. But when I saw Chase's post on social media, I completely lost it. Those perfectly shaped hands I had protected. Those beautiful hands were happily peeling crawfish for him. With the caption, "Golden hands only ever peeled shrimp for me." It made everything I had done feel like one big joke. Hey host, are you really giving up? Yeah, my heart is done. From the moment she decided on the divorce, the mission was always going to fail. It was only a matter of when. Why not get it over with? The system sighed quietly, initiating voluntary exit. The exit process will be a little painful, but the good news is you get to choose how you go. I thought about it seriously for a moment, then smiled softly. Summer never believed I would actually disappear, so let me die right there under her golden hands. I bet the look on her face is going to be priceless. On Friday, I never made it to the courthouse to file the divorce. After the exit process started, my body deteriorated fast. My immune system crashed and I spiked a fever. My lips were cracked and dry, and out of habit, I called out for Summer to bring water. Whenever she was home, she always brought me water at just the right temperature. I loved it and got used to her taking care of those little things. But when I opened my eyes, I remembered she had moved out long ago. The day she agreed to marry Chase, he is my mentor's son. Out of respect for my mentor, I should take care of him. He is almost gone. It is just a wedding ceremony. Be the bigger person? That day I stared at her blankly. If it is just a ceremony, why do you need to file for divorce? She looked down, her fair, delicate face turning cold. We cannot make him the other man. Yeah, but we are not legally divorced. So would that not make him the other man? She froze for a second, then dropped her suitcase and grabbed my arm tight. What are you saying? If you are not coming with me, then who are you going with? You said it yourself, you are an orphan in this world. I have nobody else except you. Maybe it was the pain of her grip, or maybe it cut right into something deeper. I calmly pushed her away. Let go of me, you are the one who chose to leave me. But she held on anyway and buried herself in my arms. Thinking back on our 10 years together, I could not stop my eyes from welling up. Fang, do not be sad, huh? You feel sad and it breaks me too. How could I ever not want you? She held me close, not knowing what to do, kissing me from my lips all the way down to my throat. She said she was an orphan, that her mentor had looked after her since she was young, and that Chase was just like a little brother. I believed her. After all, he had a rare terminal illness. He was dying, and the system said if the marriage was restored within 3 months, the mission would not count as a failure until a week later. I went to the hospital to drop off some soup for her and walked past the outdoor parking lot. Chase was sitting in the driver's seat with the windows all the way down, and she stood outside, hands in her white coat pockets, looking effortlessly stunning. Then in the next second, she leaned in and kissed who she called her little brother. It felt like a bucket of ice water dumped over my head, and I stood there numb, watching her. She reached out her slender, pale fingers and ruffled his hair playfully. Be good. Go home and rest. He mumbled something back, put on his shades and drove off. How painfully familiar all of this was. She used to do all of that with me. She wanted to fulfill his wish to get married. In that moment, it sent chills down my spine. Was it really just sympathy and obligation? Maybe her heart had drifted away long before this, while staying within the boundaries of her vows to me. She had found her way to another man. No wonder she was in such a rush to divorce me and make it official with him. That day, I threw the soup in the trash, and along with it, the part of me that had loved her without holding anything back. I threw that away too in my fever haze. My phone kept ringing and I fumbled to pick it up. An annoyed voice came through the line. Do you have any concept of time? I have been waiting for half an hour. My fever had me out of it. I had totally forgotten today was the day for the divorce. I said weakly. I have a fever. Can we reschedule? I can barely move, let alone get up and go anywhere. She laughed lightly on the other end. Or did you forget I am a doctor? There is no way someone as healthy as you gets a fever. You are 28. You are not some little kid like Chase. Stop being so dramatic. I actually laughed out of pure disbelief. You probably do not realize this. But your so-called little kid is only 2 years younger than me, and you used to call me that too. Guess you got tired of me, whatever. I had no more expectations from her the second time for the divorce. I stood her up again. Something happened on the way out. At the intersection, a little girl about 2 years old in cute little overalls came toddling out on her little legs to find her dad when a speeding car came around the corner and lost control. I did not think twice. I shoved her hard into the safe zone. There was a loud crash and it felt like my whole body was being shattered. The driver did not stop for even a second and floored it out of there. I turned my head and the license plate looked familiar in a flash. It hit me the hospital parking lot that was Chase's car. The little girls panicked. Family scooped her up and she burst into tears. Mr.